Hi, welcome to Open Education channel, and in this video we will see how we can implement token-based authentication using JWT in ASP.NET Core 2.0 Web API. So let's get started. So open your Visual Studio and go to File, select New, and then select Project. Here select ASP.NET Core Web Application and give it name Token Demo. Click on OK, and this will show you options for the templates available in ASP.NET Core 2.0. Select just Web API, and for the authentication we will not add authentication, we will add all the authentication by scratch. So click on OK, and it will create a ASP.NET Core 2 Web API project. So this is the default Web API project created by ASP.NET Core 2.0. Actually, it was created by Visual Studio. So first of all, we will set up our database. So open app setting, and here at the top, come here and add connection string like this. Okay, and here for the database I will give it a name token database. Okay, and now just save it. After this we will need to add this SQL server in our application as a service. So after services.add MVC, come here and write services.add DB context. Okay, but that DB context actually requires a application DB context, means DB context class. So first of all, come here and create a folder named data, and inside this data folder we will keep our model for our database, and also we will see our database, so we will keep the seeder here inside this table, inside this folder. So right click here and add a class here. So just give this class a name, application DB context, like this, and click on add, and it will create the application DB context. So in this video we will use identity, and actually identity provides us the capability of creating users roles, gives us authentication and authorization support. So for using identity, first we will create a identity user class. So we will first create a application user. So come here and add a application user. Application user, and now click on add, and this application user will be inherited from identity user. So just import the namespace by control dot and ASP.NET Core identity. Okay, save it. And here in our application DB context, generally we can use like DB context, and it will have the ASP.NET Entity Framework support, but we are using identity, so we will use identity DB context. Hit control dot, yes, imported, and it will use application user like this. Okay, now for this application DB context, we have to just define some dependency injections and also some overriding. So first I will create a constructor, so ctor double tab, and here we will have db context options, and this db context options will be for our application db context, and it will have variable, just give the variable name options, and also just use this base options. And now all we just need is to just override on model creating. So override on model creating, and so like this one, and just hit save. So back in our startup class, we will use like application db context, and just import that class. Yes, and here inside this we will have options. Options will be like you know options dot use. We will be using SQL server, so use SQL server control dot, it's imported, and use SQL server. Inside this we will have connection string from our configuration, so get connection string like this, and that connection string will be from our app setting file. So this default connection, copy this and paste it here. So our database part is kind of completed, so we have just completed our database part. uh, uh, Once more, here we need to add our identity as a service, so services dot add identity, and identity will have that our application user, and identity role is control dot, and for that let's add entity framework stores. So add entity framework stores for application db context, and then we will use add default token providers like this. Okay, so yeah, so this is our database part is completed. Now when we we want to just seed our database, so that when we run our project we have some demo user account to test with. So I will add a database seeder here. So I will go here and add a new class, and that will be seed database. Click on add, and inside this there will be a class that will be a static class. So public static void and initialize, and it will take iService provider, and so like service provider as suggested name, that's good. And here inside the service provider, first we need our database. Okay, so where context is equal to say service provider dot get required service. Okay, and that service will be application db context, yes, and And the same way, we need a user manager to create a user. So where uh, user manager, and it will be like service provider dot get required service, and it will be of user manager, and just import the class here, and that user manager have application user like this. Let's add it. After that, we need to just ensure that our database is created. So just context dot database dot ensure created. So first time when it will run, it will make sure that our database is created, and then again we need to check if there is any user in our database. So if not, context dot users dot any, then in this case we will create a application user. So application user, so user is equal to new application user, and for this application user we'll give minimum options, like email will be like a@b.com, just a demo email, and security stamp will be guide dot new guide dot string. And what can we give it? Okay, let's give it a username. Okay, username will be say ram. Okay, just and now we will just create uh, our user. So user manager dot create sync, and then it will have our user, that local variable, and password. So for the password, let's say password at rate 123. Not super secure password, but okay, uh, enough for this demo. So this is our C database. So what we are doing, just we are getting the database context service and user manager, and then we are ensuring the database is created, and after that we're checking if there is not any users, then it will create a user. If there is already a user, then it will just skip this part. So now we need to just add this in our startup class configuration. So after this line here, we will uh, you know hook it up. So app dot, not app dot, just it's a static class. So c database dot initialize, and initialize, it takes iService provider. So we'll use app dot application services dot get required service, and that required service will be iService scope factory. Okay, like this. And then we will have create scope, and then the service provider. That's it. So this will seed our database. So right now by default we have a controller, values controller here, and here we can see right now when we will run it, it will give us value 1 and value 2. Okay, so let's show the list of users we have in our database. So this way we will also check that if that database seeder is working correctly or not. So like private application db context, and demo data, and just context, and then we will have constructor. Inside this we will inject and the dependency on application db context, like this. So here now we can see this dot context is equal to context, and here we can just return like context dot users dot select uh, u u dot you know just select the username and then to array. Okay, and we will just comment it, control kc, and hit save. And just now we will run this is express. First of all, let me see that okay, our database connection is correct. So come here, we'll controller and run it. So here you can see it is showing a username Ram, which we just seeded here in our seed database here, Ram. Okay, so we can see it has successfully uh, added that database seeder, has successfully added data in our database. So everything is working fine right now. So now we will jump on the that uh, token creation. So for the REST API, we will have a REST method where user will post the username and password, and our application will check if the credentials are correct. If they are not correct, it will just send them bad requests or something like that. And if they are correct, then it will return back a token. Okay, so let's come here and add a new uh, you know folder for our model. So I will just give it name model, and inside this model let's create a new uh, class, and that will be login model. Okay, just add it. And here we will have just only two properties in this class. One will be our our username, and another will be our password. So something like that. And for the validation, let's add required, that this field is required, and just import the namespace, and here that error, sorry, that error message will be like username is required, and the same way password is also required. So we will just like password is required, control hit save. Now we will add a new controller for our authentication purpose. So we will add a new controller, and I will keep it just empty. Click on add, and here just name it auth. I will give it the name auth, and just add it. And it should just create a controller with the minimum code for a empty controller. So scaffolding is right now going on, generating code. Okay, so it has created this auth controller right now here. And first of all, I will give it a name, means that route. So its route will be same like API slash auth. Okay, and then here I will just uh, you know also give it name, I mean sorry, route, but that route will be like login. So the route for this method will be API slash auth slash login, and just rename this to login. And here we will require that username and password. So from body, and from body we will have that login model we just created. So login model, and here it will have model, and also this will be a http post method. So http post. Okay, okay, you can check the validation right now here, but I will not go ahead and check the validation. I will go straight. So first of all, we will check if there is a user with that username. So we will use user manager for that. Right now we don't have user manager, so first of all we will inject user manager here. So private user manager, and we have to import identity here, and application user, like this, control dot application using, okay, application user, and that will be user manager. And then we have to inject it as a dependency. So create the constructor here, and just copy this, paste it, and then this dot user manager. So this dot user manager is equal to our injected uh, user manager, and here we will check user manager dot uh, find by name. Yes, find by name sync, and it will be like model dot user. But actually this is a async method, so we will need to just convert it in async. So async, and then task, and here in the task we can like this, and then we can use await here. So if now we need to check if our user is null or not. So if user is not equal to null, and also we have to check if the password is correct or not. So and await user manager dot check password sync for our user we just got, and the password that is supplied. So like this password. So if these two conditions are okay, then we will generate token here. Otherwise we will just return uh, unauthorized, like this. Okay, unauthorized here. And here we need to generate a token. So we will go ahead and like write where token is equal to new JWT security token. Just import this identity model tokens.jwt, and just we will add some of the properties that is used. So issuer will be, we can give it name like http colon slash slash oec.com. You can use anyone you would like, and after issuer we will use audience. It will be the same like the previous one, http slash colon colon oec.com. And then we need expires, when does it expire. So date time dot utc now, and then add hours. We'll just add it just for 1 hour. uh, for 1 hour it will be valid. So okay, one. And then we need to add claims. So claims, we will add some claims right now. Okay, claims, and then sorry, and then we will need signing credentials. Okay, so new signing credentials, and it will have a signing key, and the algorithm for security algorithm that which will be used here is we will use at max SHA-256. So we need to add claims and a signing key. So first of all, we'll create some claims. So where AIM claims is equal to new array, and it will have new new claim, using security claim, and this will be like JWT registered claim names, and it will be like sub, and it will just give name like user dot username, and the same way we will add one more claim, and that will be JWT username dot JTI, and it will have guide dot new guide dot to string. So for now we will have just two claims. You can add many more claims as required by your application. And now we will create a signing key. So just copy this variable name we declared earlier. Sorry, not declared, just wrote there. And now we need to just assign it new symmetric security key, and we will use encoding. So control dot system dot text dot utf-8 down, then get bytes, and here you have to give your a key. So I will use my super secure key, like that. It's not super secure, but okay, this will work here for now. So just save it, and if I go ahead and run it like here, then if we see the same thing, this API values, it will show us the name of the users that are in our system right now. So that is Ram, and just copy it, and we will use a REST client. So in this case I am using ARC, advanced REST client. We will just paste it right here, and you can just send it, and here we are getting right now. There is no authentication here. We have already created that that auth controller, so that the route for auth controller is like auth slash login, and it is a post request, and in the post it takes application JSON, and I will just so visible editor, add a object property name is username, and it's kind of okay, string, and the username we just give Ram, and new properties password, and the property will be like password at rate 1 2, and now if we send it, we are getting 401 unauthorized request because this password is wrong. So if we supply the correct password 123 and send it, it is still giving us this error. So what is the correct one? So let's check first of all our seed, and that is password at rate 123, and this username is Ram. Let's come to our auth controller here and just put a debugger right now here. And now if we just send it, it should come here in the model. We are getting password and the username Ram. And now if we go down, so if we come here and just come here F10, we do F10 like this. And if we check the user, do we get user? Yes, we get the user. And do we get a claim? Yes, we are actually going here, we are creating, but actually we are not writing the token. Sorry, I just forgot how to means writing that token. So after this is created, we will just return okay. And in this okay, we will just return a new object, and that object will be like token, and that token will be new JWT security token handler, this one, and dot write token. And here we will just supply that token like this. And also we used to write expiration here. The expiration will be token dot valid. So this way we will just return okay request. Yeah, this is okay. Also right now our variables controller is not secured, so I will just add authorize here. So now this is accessible only when the user is authorized. So just save it. Also we need to just validate our token when we generate the token. So first let's run it very quickly. And here if we see right now this values path is protected using authorize, so it should not display it. And so okay, so it is asking us to log in. And if we come here, and now if we send it like this, okay, just continue. Here we can see we have a token right now here. Okay, and now if we just go ahead and copy this token, just copy this token, and come here to our get request for our values controller. So API values, and just if we just send it, it is for not found kind of error it is giving. We have to just implement okay, if not authorized, then you know add some not authorized kind of response. We can add it later, you can also add it. So we need to just uh, send a authorization header, and here we need to write bearer and just paste this token right now like this and send it. It is not working because we have not yet validated our token. So come here and just stop it. And here in the startup we need to add authorization. So service, sorry, it was service, services that add authentication. Okay, I said authorization, oh sorry for that. And here authentication we will use options. Options will be like options dot default authentication scheme. That will be like our JW. So this will be like JWT beer defaults. Just import this, defaults, and it will, authentication scheme, and also options dot default challenge scheme. It will be also JWT. Where is that? Beer defaults. Yeah, beer defaults, authentication scheme, and we need one more is options dot um, default scheme. Okay, that will be also the beer defaults dot authentication scheme. And after that, we also need to add JWT beer. Okay, and here also we have to just configure some options for this. And inside this, we will have, like options dot save token is equal to will be true, and then options dot require HTTPS metadata, it will be, like false. We are not using HTTPS. And then options dot token validation parameters. Okay, and it will be, new parameters, so something like that. It will have some like valid date issuer is equal to, like true, and then sorry, and then validate audience, it will be also true. Then valid audiences will be our, that we defined in our token was oec.com, and a valid issuer, that will be also our http colon / oec.com. Let me double check it if that was okay, the same. Okay, yes, .com, that's correct. And in the last, we need one more thing is issuer signing key, and that issuer signing key will be new symmetric security symmetric security key. And okay, yes, and here we will just apply like encoding system.text, yes, dot utf8 dot get bytes. And here we will have our super secure key. Just copy it and just paste it. Okay, and this okay, this is the minimum, requirement, and we will just need here in our configuration app dot use authentication, and that's it. Just save it, and now just run it. And when we will run it, now we can generate a token, and then we can just check our API values path using that token. So right now it will just give, that error. And if we go to API values and send it, that token is still valid, so it is giving us that list of users. If we just change this token and send it, we get this error. So just this is how we use the bearer token here. Also, if you go ahead and just copy this token and come here. There is a website, JSON Web Tokens, so JWT.io. It shows the different parts of your JSON Web Token. So if you come here and paste it like this, and then you can see here it's service RAM and JTI, or the GUID we just generated, the expiration, issuer, and audience, and also your 256-bit secret. Okay, so you can just paste your secret and it will verify your JSON Web Token. So this is how you use JWT for token based authentication ASP.NET Core 2. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, then please write down in the comment sections on YouTube. Thank you.